Hey, welcome to Echoes of Impact with Noura. This is your host, Noura Almasri. Welcome to the show. Today, I want to address a very important topic. I want to talk about something. If you do not have it, you won't have a business. I want you to guess before I tell you. What is that one thing, if you did not have in your business, you're not considered in business? I'm not going to let you think a lot about it. It's simply sales. If you do not make a sale, you don't have income. Therefore, you cannot rely on this business. You don't have a business. So the most important thing you do in your business is actually to make a sale. And I know a lot of you guys can cringe and, like you don't want to hear about sales. You don't want to make sales. You don't want to do any of that because you feel uncomfortable talking about sales. Why if people feel like I'm imposing something on them? But you want to think about sales in a different way, because apparently when there is a business, whether that is a service, a product, that means there is a need for it. So there are people out there needing this service or product. That's why you are in business, for this service or product. So when you talk about your business, when you actually spread awareness about your business, do sales call, do the outreach, you are actually trying to find the people who are looking for your service or for your product. So you are doing them a favor, showing yourself to them, telling them, hey, here I am, I have what you need. Otherwise, they might be looking and not finding you. All same thing when you run an ad. So if you direct the ad directly to the people who are caring about the thing that you offer in your business, then you're showing yourself to yourself to them. So you are doing them a favor. So this is something they need. You do not need. You are strong with this thing, that the sort of service you're offering. If you are in marketing, if you're in accounting, if you are a doctor, whatever you are, you have this thing that other people need. If you have a product, you have probably a lot of these products, but they need this product. So it's very important that people know about you. Otherwise, you're not in business. You're going to be forced to close a business. Earlier today, I was listening to a podcast. The lady was saying, learning how to do sales will make your relationship better. Well, I can't speak. It makes your relationship better. So, do you think this is true? I was like, and a little awe when I heard that. I'm like, But then I reflected on my own relationships. And when we talk about sales, it starts from someone who's staying at the cashier, smiling because they're processing a sale, to someone who's making those calls. Maybe it's the discovery call if you are working on your business. Maybe it's if you are a salesperson, just that's your duty in any place. You are making this call, whatever is that. The number one thing in sales, you have to be smiling. You have to actually transfer a good energy to the other parts of the, like Zoom or phone or whatever, or the clients that you're talking to. So you have to have a good energy. You have to try to solve problems. You have to try to understand the other person needs. What do they need? How can you make their life better? That's what a good salesperson will do. So you're not salesy. You are actually trying to solve the problem, because this is why you are in business. Of course, you want to make money, but because you thought this is something people need, that's why we thought, okay, I'm going to start this. So it's going to solve the problem. So basically, you're solving someone's problem. So you're going to understand their needs in order to solve their problem. Otherwise, like you just want to sell anything to anyone just because you have that product or service, that's not going to be good for you or for your business. So it's really important to have that person on the other side that needs your service. So smiling, trying to solve their problem, that's going to actually fix your relationship with other people. I remember when, like years ago, maybe 10 years ago, when me and my family started a business, like it was like a storefront business. We offered products. And so all of us were working on that. So everyone was doing everything. And everyone was taking a turn at the cashier. So I learned how to smile. Always, all the time, no matter how I felt. So that's what I was just doing without thinking of, to the point that I was attending an event, and then there was someone I haven't spoke to for a long, long time. And actually, last time we met, it wasn't a great meeting. So we were not talking, but because that smile that I carried from me doing that sales, the very basic act of sale, right? I was just smiling and I was looking at everyone smiling. And she thought I was smiling at her. And that actually opened a conversation. And since then, we have a great relationship. I am now a better mom because I learned sale. Well, I'm not the best on sale, just being just being clear. I am not the best in sale. I'm learning, of course, like my skills has improved since I had my business, because this is what we have to do as business owner. So my skills are improving every single day, trying to understand my clients, my prospects. So just wanted to clear that out. But now I am a better mom, a better daughter, a better sister, because I try to understand the other side. So it did actually affect my relationship. So the lady was right. She was talking about this, and I was like, I really did not understand it this way, or I did not actually did the correlation, but it is actually very true. So I don't want you to run away from sales. If you are a business owner, you have to learn how to introduce yourself, how to introduce your product or service, how to understand the other person needs, and try to get to your ideal clients because they need you. So don't run away, just improve your skills and try to be better every day. And this is one thing that you cannot just learn and be great at it. You have to practice one time over one time. So the more you do it, the better you are. So make sure you do that, because you need to make sales to grow your business. All right. I have great guests for you today. So stay with me, because we're going to be talking to few great women as usual, but stay tuned, stay with me. We're going to hear from people from different walk of life today. They're gonna share their experience. They're going to actually drop a lot of value. They will, I'm sure, listening to some of them, you're going to be very inspired. And instead of waiting to find the solution to come to you, you will go ahead and actually do something to have that solution for everyone to solve a problem, to do anything. So just not, I don't want you to sit there complaining about anything. I want you to take the initiative. That's why I have an amazing lady with me today. You will see and you will learn from her how she did take the initiative to start something. And actually, each of the women I'm talking to today, all of them actually started their own business or nonprofit, you will hear from from them. I don't want to tell you everything because you gotta stay with me and you gotta listen to my guests today. All right. This is Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. See you later. Welcome back. This is Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact. Now I'm very excited to talk to a young professional who's been very active with few nonprofits. I'm very excited to introduce Dalia Ali. Dalia, welcome to the show.
Hi, Noura. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Sure. So thank you for joining. So can you introduce yourself to the audience, tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Dalia. I am 22, turning 23 in 2 months. I am a psychology graduate from UIC here in Chicago, and I was on the pre-law track. So right now I am taking some time off to work in nonprofit and gain experience before I do pursue law school. So actually right now I work for a Muslim nonprofit, but I also do a lot of voluntary work for another nonprofit called PAMA, which is the Palestinian American Medical Association. And I am Palestinian myself, and I am also Muslim. So the two nonprofits that I do work for, they definitely relate to who I am as a person.
Awesome. So what made you actually want to go to pre-law track? So why do you want to go to law school?
Yeah, so I think that I can make an impact in the legal field. I definitely see areas of improvement, and wherever I'm the type of person where if I see something needs to be fixed, I want to fix it. So I definitely think there's a lot of work to be done in the legal system. And I think I've been especially more motivated ever since everything that's been happening in my home country. So I'm excited to hopefully pursue law soon.
Awesome. So speaking of like seeing a problem and you want to fix it. So that's will take me into our previous conversation before the show. Like you were saying, um, you started a chapter for the organization here because you wanted to do something during this time. So can you tell us a little bit about what is that and how did you feel like, okay, you want to get involved with um, this organization? I personally lived most of my life in Chicago and I never heard of the organization except from you. So that's really inspiring. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So I actually first heard about PAMA, the Palestinian American Medical Association, back in October of 2023. And when I first heard of them, this is also when uh, the situation in Gaza started, and things were very difficult and heated. Um, and of course, me being Palestinian, this is something that obviously touches deeply in my heart. So I got to know PAMA and what they do. I got to see that they actually send teams of medical doctors from the US, from all over the states, not just Chicago, um, directly to Gaza to do some of these medical mission trips. So we actually, ever since October specifically, we have sent down about 5 to 7 medical teams, and we actually are also sending that. We're still currently in the process of like sending more teams down. So for me, that's, of course, it's amazing. I think that doctors and nurses and people who go into the healthcare system, they truly are heroes. And risking your life here in the US, where we are privileged and we are comfortable and we are safe, to go to Gaza for 2 weeks. And some of our doctors and nurses and physicians actually chose to stay there for longer, for 2 weeks, like Dr. Adam Hamawi, who was all over the news recently. So they truly are doctor heroes. And for me, hearing about the work that they do and learning about the work that PAMA does specifically, I was super inspired and super motivated. But I did realize they make such a big impact, but people don't hear about them often. They don't really recognize them or know them. So like you said, Noura, you've lived here for most of your life, but you didn't know what PAMA was. And PAMA actually isn't established in Chicago, it's established in Virginia. So, but I do know that we have a big Palestinian population here in Chicago. And so I got to talk to the vice president, Dr. Muhayyad Kitana, and he pretty much expressed to me like they really did want to start developing a Chicago chapter. And I heard that and I was like, great, I think that's exactly what should be done. We should grow it essentially. And they have like their internal Chicago groups, I guess, like doctors who do know about PAMA and who have known about PAMA for the past, however many years. But I definitely think that PAMA's work should be it should be displayed in a wider scale. Like there are some organizations that you think of and like everyone will know. So for me, I think like PAMA does such influential work that that's what I hope to help them achieve.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit, like what type of, other than like medical mission, of course, like what type of medical help do they offer?
Yeah, so they actually have also they've done like scholarships that I actually recently learned about, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. But they have helped kids or students overseas like come to the US to study in medicine. So they'll like give them scholarships and they'll help pave the way for their healthcare and medical careers here in the US. So I think that is pretty great. And then they also have sent aid trucks to Gaza like these past few months. So we are constantly like collecting funds for that, and we actually are collecting medical supplies as well. So just last month, well, I guess it's June now. So in April, I actually volunteered at one of the warehouses to help pack this aid. And our community here in Chicago is very, very supportive, and people are very motivated, and we have a good amount of donations. Like it's heartwarming to see that people care. So that's really nice. And then during Ramadan, which is a month of fasting for Muslims, PAMA actually was like down in the ground in Gaza distributing meals to the people there. A lot of people in Gaza, they are Muslim. So yeah, PAMA did a lot of work with distributing meals and iftar. So like they definitely give back in a lot of ways, which is really great. And they also have established different like clinics and hospitals in Gaza too.
We hear there's a lot of instructions for the hospitals and medical. Think has that affected any staff of the PAMA?
So actually, just I would say a few weeks back, we did have a medical mission team stuck in Gaza. Once the Rafah boarding did close, our team was actually stuck there, and there were other medical teams that were stuck there from different organizations. And this was all over the news. It was a very, very big thing. And Dr. Adam Hamawi, he actually was a part of one of these groups of medical doctors with PAMA, and he chose to stay back. Once he did get clearance to come back to the US, he was like, you know what, I actually want to stay back. I want to stay here and I want to help out for longer. So he stayed for a few more weeks. He's back in New Jersey now, but that's just one story of our PAMA heroes. And, despite getting stuck in Gaza and needing to pretty much reach out to the US government and the Biden administration and start this entire campaign that even you may be familiar with Omar Suleiman. He even posted it on his page, like, let our doctors leave Gaza. It was like a whole campaign where they were just stuck there because of the Rafah border closing. But thankfully, they are back here now in the US. But despite the struggles, I even personally talked to our medical mission trip goers who have come back to the US, and I would talk to them about their experiences. And the one thing that all of them had in common, well, there are actually a lot of things, but the most important thing that stood out to me was they all told me that they would go back in a heartbeat, and that they also wish they never left. So it's really the work that PAMA does and the team of healthcare workers that are involved with us. They truly are heroes, and I don't know what other way to put it besides that.
All right, thank you so much. That's very impressive. I'm happy that they're back and they're safe. So hopefully they can go back and help more and they'll be back safe again. So how can people support your organization and get in touch with you?
Yeah, so we actually do have an Instagram account for our PAMA Chicago chapter. So if you are in the Chicagoland area, please follow it. The handle is just, and I will type it in the chat as well. It's just PAMA, PAMA Chicago. And so we do have our Instagram page, and through that page, I do post like any events we have coming up. I also post updates directly, like what's happening in Gaza and what our team is doing. And then I also am coming out with a series pretty soon. We're coming out with a new series, just interviewing like the medical mission trip goers who did go to Gaza and are back. So far I've actually filmed 2 of them. And hopefully they will come out soon. So stay tuned on our page. But we do also have our main PAMA account, which is, I will have to find the exact spelling, but it's Palestinian AMA. And that's like the general one, not the just Chicago chapter.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for being here and sharing all this great information with us. Continue the great work that you're doing. Guys, you heard it, like go back and check actually the website and the Instagram account and support. This is Echoes of Impact with Noura. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is your host, Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. I'm really excited to have my guest now. Like, she is a dear friend. You're going to actually learn a lot from her, especially if you are in the food industry. We're going to talk about numbers and a lot more. I want to welcome my friend, Angelica Lopez. Hi, Angelica. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. How about yourself, Noura?
I am great. Thank you so much. Very happy to have you here with us today. So working hard at the
Absolutely.
office. So I usually have my guests actually introduce themselves. So can you introduce yourself to our audience? Let them know who you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My name's Angelica Lopez. I am a certified tax and accounting advisor. And we actually have a firm here in the state of Arizona. We're in the city of Mesa. I have been a tax preparer, started as a tax preparer since 2006, and have had a lot of experience, over 15 years of experience in the industry, and, have become a CFO for a lot of restaurant owners in the state of Arizona.
That's awesome. So what did get you interested in actually food industry, restaurant? Like, I imagine that's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's actually not. So one of the ways I got into the restaurant industry and also the food industry was because I grew up, my mom had a few food trucks, and I was actually involved with her as she was cooking and growing her business within the food industry, and loved it. So I was always raised that food makes us more happier. So a lot of reasons why I went into the food industry was because I saw the need. I saw the need that a lot of my clients needed the help of guidance between their businesses, as they were growing, as they wanted to expand their business, that was one of the biggest reasons that brought me into the restaurant industry was my mom.
Nice. So moms have the biggest influence on their daughters, I guess.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so you've been there for a while. So do you have other clients or only you work with restaurant owners?
We do. We actually work with trade service companies as well, like roofers, landscapers. We have YouTubers, and we also have social media gurus as well. So we do work with a wide variety of clients, but our main clientele are restaurants.
That's awesome. That's great. So you still have your brick and mortar. You do not work online like a lot of us, right? So
Correct.
so I know like you've started long time ago, but do you see yourself ever like being more hybrid or doing more virtual, or do you like it to be like actually no in the office with your team?
I actually like it a lot more being in the office with a team and having a brick and mortar. The goal obviously is for us is to grow the business. We are looking to expand to two more offices. So we are looking for, we are excited on the fact of having a brick and mortar office. We also have clients that are virtual clients, clients that may be out of the state and, still want to work with us. So we do have a lot of virtual clients, but most of our clients come into our office. And the good thing about that is we can set up our time with them. So we have set appointments with them, and our office is basically by appointment only. So we still have our autonomy as well.
That's awesome. So this is great because a lot of people like this personal connection, but um some of people are confused, like what should we do? But we don't want to like talk a lot about this because we don't want to run out of time without talking about restaurants and their problems.
Yes.
So so what is the most common problem in all business owners who own restaurants or in food industry in general?
So typically there is three errors or three areas that we focus on when we're looking at a restaurant. We're looking at food costs, which is one of the biggest problems or issues that a client might have. Wages, payroll also becomes another one, and waste. Those are three of the main ones that always occur within a restaurant. So we pay really close attention to those areas, especially on a weekly basis. So most of the time you have bookkeepers that, do bookkeeping monthly, but we do bookkeeping weekly for the restaurants because of that reason, because we want to capture any issues that we might have, where you might have a lot more staff in the front of the house instead of the back of the house. And so a lot of times we have to figure out, okay, what makes sense for this type of restaurant? Because you have all kinds of restaurants, right? You have the sit down restaurants, you have the restaurants that, they just come in and pick up food and leave. And then you have like food trucks. So there's a little bit of a variety of a difference.
Okay, that's interesting. Weekly bookkeeping. And how can you get the information from them? Is it easy to get the information from them on a weekly basis?
To be honest with you, one of our biggest goals and has always been is to communicate with our clients. So we typically communicate with them in advance and we ask, for invoices, making sure that they upload all of their information to our portal. And that actually helps us, prepare for their report.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is very important because as accountant, we cannot do anything if we don't have the information from the client. So can you imagine this is a challenge for all of us, and being in a retail in general, like not let alone like being in food industry, it's like really dynamic working place. So like it's very hard to get these people to actually pay attention to the financials. So how did you actually, I know you communicate with them well, but what did you find effective, the most effective way to actually get them to get you the information you need?
So we actually, if our restaurants are local, I will actually go and pick up any items that I need. So That's one of the other things that we are capable of doing is we're capable of going out to the locations and picking up their items if they can't, for instance, because, we do have small businesses that might not have the extra staff to be able to help them administrative wise, but, they can put everything for us in a folder and we can pick it up. So that's
Oh,
another option.
that's great. So, and I know because you have a lot of love to this industry, you even wrote the book about it. So can you tell us a little bit about the book?
Yes, absolutely. So the book that I wrote is really about growth and about helping our restaurant owners grow and establish more businesses within either their city or maybe another state. And so we help them really capture all of the areas that can be focused on and be able to help them grow in their restaurant and build wealth as well. Because one of the biggest things that we've noticed as well is that restaurants aren't created just to have a business. They were created because of family. It was built because of family. So typically they want to hand it over or hand it down to their children. So a lot of times it's the wealth and being able to transfer that wealth to their children. So with this book, we're able to go through step by step on what they can do to be able to grow their business even more. The 8 figures, actually.
That's awesome. So for you, for everyone who's listening and not watching, the book name is the 8-Figure CFO Kitchen Method. The 8-Figure CFO Kitchen Method. It's available on Amazon. We did actually display the picture of it actually on if you're watching on TV. So make sure you go grab that book if you are in the food industry. And how can people connect with you and how can you help them being the CFO of the kitchen method?
Absolutely. So we typically, I love to get to know our clients, right? One of the biggest things that we look at is we look at partnerships and relationships within our clients because they become family to us. Typically when our clients start with us, they end with us, so they don't go anywhere else because we teach them as well. We educate our clients. We love doing that. When our clients have any questions or anything like that, they can really make sure that we're going to teach them and show them and also do it for them if they don't really want to as well. So we do provide the full service for our clients.
That's awesome. So you obviously love working with restaurants owners, and they're very fortunate to have you. And thank you so much for writing that book to them. How can people get in touch with you to seek your help?
Yeah, so they can either give us a call or they can reach out to us we're on Facebook and Instagram as well as LinkedIn as well. And I can always leave the handles for you as well.
Yeah, so can you actually say the website?
Yes, absolutely. It is www.thetaxbookkeepingcoach.com.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Angelica, for being here with me today. I really enjoyed the talk, and I'm sure a lot of people got a lot of value from you, especially for those who are already in food industry or looking to get into that. You must get the book. You must connect with Angelica because numbers are very important for you guys and for everyone who's in business. This is Echoes of Impact with Noura. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is your host, Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. I'm really excited to welcome back my friend, Brittany, to the show. We spoke about so many topics related to grants, different type of grant. You can go watch previous episode, but today we're going to touch into a different topic. So before we do that, let me actually welcome my friend, Brittany. Brittany, welcome to the show.
Hi, Noura. Thank you so much for having me. I'm back. I'm like so happy to be back yet again.
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back. It's always fun to have you here. So for those of our audience who do not know you yet, can you actually introduce yourself a little bit, give a little bit of background?
Sure. My name is Brittany C. I am a nonprofit strategist, and I help nonprofits and businesses get funding, whether it's their first time, like as a startup, or if they've been around for a little while longer and they just want to expand, or they need extra funding like maybe it's not for their business, but to just live their dream. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, awesome. So today we're gonna be talking about corporate sponsorship. So what are corporate sponsorship?
Corporate sponsorships, I'll use the short definition of it. Corporate sponsorships are partnerships. It's the people that have the funding or the money, and they're looking for businesses and profits to partner with. So it's like an exchange. In exchange for your idea as a business, maybe not your idea, but your program, maybe your event, something that you have going on and they want, in exchange for that idea, that partnership, they will give you funding.
Okay. Okay, so who can get that actually? Businesses, nonprofit, or everyone?
Yes, it's for groups like business owners, it's for individuals, it's for nonprofit leaders. If you are someone that you have a project, a program, a cause, you like helping others, you also like to put on events, even events. If you're like an event planner, or maybe you're just like a community leader, corporate sponsorships are for you. And not a lot of people know this, but in your business as well as your nonprofit, you can increase your funding by 49% of what you already have with corporate sponsorships.
So how can people find those, like corporate partnership and sponsorship? And how can they actually know, like, okay, this corporation will be interested in sponsoring my event, or maybe sponsoring my business or nonprofit, whatever it is. How can we find them?
I would say this. Finding them is very easy because they're right up under our nose. So that grocery store that you shop and get groceries at, your favorite retail store, your favorite shoe store, even let's say your local school, your local college, as well as local events that are around every city, state, and community. That's where the corporate sponsorships are. So to help everyone out, I do have a corporate sponsorship list where I take the top 25 corporate sponsors on this list, and I put that information in the list so you can get started with finding your local corporate sponsor and partnering. And they're also found at your local chamber of commerce, as well as your local state where they house community events as well.
Okay, so anyone can just get that list. How can they get the list?
Anyone can get it. Like although I'm giving one as away today, their lists are everywhere. And also, just if there's no list, just you sharing your idea to that corporate sponsor, that opens the door for networking, and also opens the door for them to definitely partner with you or their corporate sponsorship friends. So in order for you to fund your dream or whatever it is.
So what's in it on them? Like usually I know like people like get someone corporate to sponsor their event, or business owners to sponsor their events so they can have the marketing aspects of it. Is that what they're looking for, or is there any other benefit for them?
Yes. So there is a marketing aspect. So if you've ever gone to, like, for sports fans out there, if you've ever gone to a baseball game or a soccer game, and oh, we love to thank our sponsors, Home Depot, Lowe's, Allstate, State Farm Insurance. Those are sponsors. These sponsors contributed to this event to make everything at, let's just say, that sports event free or almost free. Maybe like everything there, like the food is free, but you may have to pay like for a ticket. So it's that soccer team getting on the map, as well as them saying, hey, look at my partner, the corporate sponsors. So everyone uses corporate sponsors. In exchange for them promoting you or giving you funds for what you need it for, you would put their logo anywhere on your um, your website. If you're hosting an event, your event planners or your invitations, whatever you list, whatever you have, in exchange for you doing this for them, that's what it is. Again, it's a partnership. So they're giving you funds for it. And the funds are, I don't want to say any amount. There is an amount, but they do buy into a package. So that business or that nonprofit, they would have to put together a corporate sponsorship package, and which has their pricing. And from there, the corporate sponsor chooses to buy into it that way. And in exchange for that, they are promoting, that individual is promoting the corporate sponsor.
Okay, so now like someone will be out there saying, okay, I am a small business. Why would they care to sponsor me if even if I put their logo, who's going to see their logo? There are going to be very few people to see their logo. If I'm a nonprofit, the same thing. So it makes sense for corporate to actually sponsor a game, sponsor something big, but why should they sponsor me?
Why should they partner and sponsor a small business owner? That is a great question. And also, it's not how you think. They do, and they are very passionate about small businesses, because since 2020, 2019 pandemic, small businesses have been on the rise. And a lot of small businesses also, although they're rising up, at the same time they're struggling to make the impact that they need. So corporate sponsors see what the business or what the nonprofit is trying to do. And if they love it, they're invested, they're definitely going to sponsor that business in that nonprofit. And yes, although you're absolutely right, a small business may not have much bandwidth as huge stadiums of sports events, but it is a start for them to partner with the right people, because the corporate sponsor themselves are already popular, already well known, because everyone knows who they are. But it's a chance for that business to partner with them so they can know who that small business or that nonprofit that just started, to get to know them as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all this information. And I know you have a class about this. Can you tell us a little bit about it and what do you provide with it?
Okay, so I do have a corporate sponsorship training class. What I offer with that class is just showing you the ropes, going through the basics of corporate sponsorships. So some of what I've already talked about right now in this segment is what's in my course. Another thing is how to approach corporate sponsors, because I get it. If you're brand new at this, it can be a little bit scary putting yourself out there, because you're like, okay, what do I say? How do I approach? What topic do we talk about? How do I do this? So I covered that also in my course. And I show you what you need to do to create that pricing packet for the corporate sponsor. So everything that I have in my course is how to approach sponsorships are the secrets on how to increase your funding by 49% of whatever it is you're already doing in your business and nonprofit.
Okay, awesome. So how can people get in touch with you?
How can they get in touch with me? Through my website, which is writingvisions.now.site. I am also, like I mentioned before, I'm giving everyone, if it's okay with you, my free corporate sponsorship list where it's the top 25 corporate sponsors. That way they can get started today. Also, if they are interested in my course for corporate sponsorship, I also provided that link as well in the description. So once they click on it, they can see the landing page and go there. I also put the landing page to the my corporate sponsorship training on my website as well.
Awesome.
It's the
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Thank you so much, Brittany. Thank you for being here today. We run out of time, guys. So thank you so much for being with us today. I'm sure you got what you want from our guests today. And I want you to actually send me your feedback. Send me an email if you are interested to be here in the show to share a story, to share your knowledge, because I'm sure you have something that every one of us need to know. So send me an email and we will check those emails and see and let us know why would you want to be on the show, so we can actually get in touch with you and let us know what would you like to see on the show, so we can actually facilitate that if we can. Thank you for being here with me. Make sure you promote your business. Make sure you actually let people know about your business. Again, you can email me at hello@echoesofimpact.net, hello@echoesofimpact.net. Until next time, keep making an impact.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation.